Twisted Fate. Not this time.
No. You made me look. I was like, what? I'm sure he picked one. Yeah, so anyway, so like we mentioned, so it's going to be, I think it's going to be Vayne down bottom. Alistar is generally the bottom laner with Kuja. So Mama, who normally picks up the is an AP, is going to go with Corki. So Corki possibly mid. And obviously Millenium were the ones that always used to use the teleport, certainly throughout the DreamHack. They're not using it this time either. So lots of flashes pretty much throughout the whole team. As you would expect, it's actually one of the things that I believe Riot are talking about maybe changing. There's some changes coming to Flash, so it'd be good to see how that affect things. It used to be a lot different. Actually, it's changed. It would be the second change, I believe, in the game's history. So we are actually underway, and is Wet Dream actually done? He's in the restaurant, SK restaurant. We stood AFK. Please don't tell me he's AFK. He managed to do all the selecting. Yeah, so there he is. So I guess we're not going to get a level 1 fight, so we can have a quick look at what they've bought. And so boots on Nunu and Annie, as you kind of expect. And Donna's Blade on Caitlyn. Donna's Shield on Jarvan, and Soraka going with the wards. Also a ward on Nunu, so double ward from SK, only a single ward on Millenium. Millenium stacking up on the mid turret. They've gone with Donna's Blade on Vayne, Donna's Shield on Corki. So I expect Corki to possibly go in top or mid. It's definitely Momo or Soaz. I don't know which way they're planning on. It's really who they want to be against, I guess. Who wants to be against Jarvan top? Who's going to have the more survivability? Yeah, it's looking like Brand's going to stay in mid and Corki's going to go top. And as always, they're not going to have any fights whatsoever.
Yeah, a real passive start actually going off, as we were kind of used to. And a few people were mentioning after those picks and bans that fairly safe and fairly standard stuff doesn't really indicate that we're going to be seeing anything risky here in the first game. It is best of 3, so the team which loses this first one won't be in such a bad situation, and even the team that loses the entire best of 3 will still have the chance to come through from the lower bracket to get themselves through into Gamescom. The top 2 in the winner bracket plus the top 2 in the lower bracket will be those 4 teams that will make it through. And actually Candy Panda and Nif are going to take out golems early down at bottom. Interesting.
Yeah, it's, I would say stealing jungle, but it's not, because probably by the time he gets around, I think what the spawn time is. By the time he gets around, depends. Then again, actually, being Nunu, he's probably going to go straight to the opposition's columns. I guess that's what we're going to see him do. So he had no intention of going towards them. That's the way I suspect. So we see Janna already putting the ward out pretty early on that bottom river there. So they're trying to keep track of Nunu, and as you can see, Nunu is already going off towards the Wraith spot. Looks like he's going to go across towards. Is he going to try and put an Ice Blast on Soaz in passing? No, he's not. He's going to go straight for Wraith. So everyone resumes position, and as explained earlier, with that extra AD, it is going to be Corki versus Jarvan up top.
Yeah, we'll see how that one works out for Momo. Obviously, we do see him, as you mentioned before, playing more the AP kind of player, and we've seen him play a lot with Anivia, actually, which obviously was one of the bans coming into this game. So that's probably one of the reasons why Momo's not going for his normal kind of position. There we go, in middle we see Soaz taking a little bit of damage. Down on bottom, again, just a few hits here and there being exchanged. Ocelot was just taking a peek up towards the jungle area there, but we may see Nunu and Amumu meeting here. Linak is still sniffing around there, a little bit unsure as to what's going to go on. We do see that Wet Dream, or SK Restaurant as he's known now, going in there, and he could be in trouble now because he's got Momo there coming into him. Wicked will slide in as well, and now it could be Momo that has the problems. Obviously, Valkyrie used to get away. Nunu should be able to get away as well, and Ocelot going to be hit from behind by Soaz. Nicely done by Soaz. I think Wet Dream is going to survive very safely from this one, and Wicked even managing to stay on full HP, completely obviously ignoring that Jarvan. Yellow Star did take some damage, and we've got Candy Panda firing the shots off, and the Peacemaker not quite working out. And as I went down there to see that, we did see Wet Dream picking up the kill onto Corki, and well, all things kicking off very early on in this game.
It's all kicking off, as they say up north. And yeah, so that's, I mean, that's good for top, really, for Jarvan getting the taking out his lane partner, but obviously for Ocelot it's not so good because he got taken down by Brand. So Soaz has come back with a amplified tome already in the pair of boots. Picked up the first blood, remember, so got that extra gold. Meanwhile, Ocelot is going to be a bit behind. Basically, it's going to put him behind for quite a lot of levels as well. They're only both at level 3, so he's going to struggle. He's really just going to have to try and sit and farm. But at the moment, Soaz is not putting any harass on him because he knows that Wet Dream is around here, and here comes Wet Dream around the side. He's going to get a nice flash straight on him. He's going to get a bit of damage on him, and he actually, I think, used flash there, trying to go straight for him, gets the exhaust down. Soaz is surely going to get finished off, and that will even things up nicely there. So very good gank there. From a double teaming perspective is the word I'm trying to get out. He also had a good stack of minions as well, which is what he really aimed at, it was timed very well. Meanwhile, down the bottom, Candy Panda has been harassing that much, so Vayne's actually been back and bought. So Vayne's coming back with the second Doran's Blade there. Hadn't been able to get the boots on, so Candy Panda's still doing a fantastic job. It's kind of what we expect him to do. He is a very, in my eyes, probably one of the best.
The CS is ridiculous. 40 for Candy Panda, 15 for Vayne.
Good lord, yeah. And they actually tried to put quite a bit of damage. I was watching early while the fight started at the bottom. Nif actually got very low on health, so they tried to put a lot of damage on him, but Candy Panda just stood the ground, put the Piltover Peacemaker straight across both of them, and then just laid into Yellowstar and completely kept him out of the fight, which is probably what's put him out there, really. They were trying to get the early kill onto Soraka, and it sort of backfired. So Nif's doing a fantastic job. You cannot underestimate how good a job the support does in this, from just occupying that bush, just keeping that bush, keeping the opposition back, and it's working very well, and they are a very good partnership for doing that, which is obviously why SK wanted to pick them up from game as soon as DreamHack finished.
Yeah, a great partnership that Nif and Candy Panda have shown us over Season 1, and they'll be looking forward to Season 2, and of course the Intel Extreme Masters now as well, to show what they're worth together as part of a team in definitely a bigger named organisation. And again, we see Yellowstar being forced away. Candy Panda really controlling this area, and Yellowstar really down almost constantly, it seems, in this game so far, round or below even half HP, and that's not going to be good for him moving forward in this one. Obviously being pushed a little bit out of XP range, and definitely pushed away from the farm that he needs to get early on. Could have something interesting now. Linux starting to move in as he goes through the tri-brush. Will he go for that bandage toss? And yes, he does, but he misses Candy Panda. And I don't think Candy Panda was even moving around, to be honest. It's maybe even made that shot a little bit harder. We've seen top lane Corki has gone home, and Ruby Crystal bought their ward coming out as well. A couple of pots, and obviously Doran Shield and boots from a little bit earlier on.
Bottom. Still very, very low down the bottom here. And then the big difference is, so Yellowstar's having to go back again. The big difference is that Soraka can sit there with Candy Panda. Candy Panda's been putting the Piltover Peacemaker, which is the long-range shot, across them. This tower's going to go down here. It's 384 hit points. It's been going for Vayne every single time, and there's not a lot Kuja can do about it other than shielding him up. Whereas Soraka's obviously sat there going, here's some heals, here's some mana, and just constantly helping with harass, and also occupying that bush, keeping Janna away from the bush. Janna's just constantly had to concentrate fiercely on shielding Vayne, because Vayne's been taking so much damage. And Yellowstar is no slouch. Yellowstar is occupied like the #1 elo slot for a long time in Europe, and he's still probably in the top 10. I've no doubt. I haven't looked lately, but it's almost certainly up there. Meanwhile, you can see, look at the two junglers. Actually, Nunu up on the lizard buff there. Just he missed it. He just pulled it into the bushes. I don't think he was aware of it. Now he's going to be aware of it because he's going to see the lizard shooting it, but I don't think he was aware. Meanwhile, let's have a look. Is anyone actually going to pull towards him? He's going to continue on it. He does steal it. Meanwhile, you can see Annie coming around there. Linux not being able to do anything. SK are completely dominating here. They really have full control of the map, the jungle, everything. And let's have a look at Wicked, see what Wicked's doing up the top on Jarvan. He's he's keeping Mama at bay. How's the CS working out between those two? If we've not had a look at that for a while, 52 for Jarvan and Corki on 48. So pretty even, but like you say, that big difference is down the bottom. The CS between Candy Panda and Yellowstar is pretty enormous.
Yeah, 66 to 36, so pretty much double at the moment for Candy Panda, and just using that extreme range that Caitlyn can throw out there to push Yellowstar away, and every opportunity he gets knocks out a shot or two. Obviously, up at top, the damage that's been put out onto Wicked is not going to affect him all that much. To start off with a door and shield, and he's actually going to slide in there towards Moma, who will send him packing away again. And you can just imagine these guys are just going to sit around for quite a while. We do have Nunu there, which of course is Wet Dream, not quite able to get in onto the fight, but he did have the Oracle, so could clear out wards and maybe open up a little bit later a chance for somewhat of a gank. And again, down on bottom lane, SK have pushed it super aggressively.
Yeah, we're waiting to see the advantage really. Now this is the time where they're starting to look up for a quick kill so they can start pushing towards taking that dragon down. And you can see that Linak is just sat there waiting. Have they got any wards? They had got one just below him, but I don't know whether they've seen him going in there. Meanwhile, that bottom turret does go down. I did say it was on at least 300 hit points not long ago, and that is perfect for them now, because that gives them, that blinds them out for that bottom lane area. And you can see that Linak is going to come around. He needs to be careful he doesn't get caught. That ward just being placed in the blue, the golem buff area, so they're going to have full view of Linak as soon as he comes around there. So they're just going to continue pushing this lane now, but that has bought them prime chance at really getting the early dragon. Or yeah, not so early.
Yeah, 10 minutes down. Yeah, like you say, it's not so early, but still, the way that they've managed to pull it off is absolutely perfect for them in the position that they're in. They're pushing on every front, actually. Excuse me. Even on the lane where they've just pushed down, they are pushing straight in there. Actually, a bit of damage being put out onto Candy Panda. We've got also Wet Dream in this middle area. A fair amount of minions in there with them as well. So maybe some damage is going to come onto this tower. We do see the Brand come in there as well. And Yellowstar constantly getting the damage. Ulti is going to go out, blocked by Janna, as you could probably expect. It gives them, rather than Yellowstar being super low and having to go back, it gives them both HP, half HP, and they can stay in that lane for a little while longer. And it looks like they really want to pull out Soaz on this middle area. They need to be careful that Linux there. In fact, they've spotted him because there is that vision ward around. Let's see if they can get anything in onto Soaz. And Wet Dream still not quite able to get in there. Already consumed that one Wraith earlier.
They saw him, because remember they got that ward over at the blue, so they immediately pinged it, because Linak just went straight around there, which is why the bottom lane immediately backed away. And they should have realised that, and he went straight across it, and that's why they've both just completely backed away. He's going towards top though, and there's a ping gone down. He's going to steal the golems. So it looks like yeah, Corki's just ported away as well. So that's going to be 3 golems once again. So I think he's got every single spawn of these golems so far at the top there, doing a pretty good job. Linak just getting spotted straight away with the clairvoyance. Got that. Well, meanwhile, bottom lane, they're going to push for it. Has he got his ulti? I don't think he has, because he used it a moment ago. Don't think he's going to have it up. The Yellowstar very low. Kuja also very low. They're going to continue pushing on this tower. You can see them coming straight across. The ward is still there, so they're going to back straight away. Linux's going to try and bandage shots, flash through, missing it. Will he manage to catch him with his ulti? No, he won't, because Nis flashed away very nicely and very well avoided that singular one ward that's just paid its dividends many times over from that bottom lane pushing. But that has just done so much damage. They've actually started doing damage on the turret, and the bottom lane is just in all sorts of trouble. CS wise, 104 to 60. 44, that's massive. I mean, you're looking at 25 gold, roughly thereabouts. It differs on, depends which minute mob you're hitting, but yeah, I mean, that is a huge difference in gold already there.
Yeah, great stuff on this bottom line what some people have called the dream team in terms of laning, both Nif and Candy Panda. We saw them in games, and I don't want to say that they carried game. That definitely wasn't the case. That game didn't have any great players on the other side, but definitely they were the deciding factor in why we saw games being so strong over at last time. And we see Wet Dream actually using his ulti there in middle to clean out the minion wave, and we have Vayne doing the same job. So few guys going back to buy. Nif has been back recently. Ocelot has just come back. Catalyst the Protector is built, as well as the Sorcerer's Shoes from a little bit earlier on. Up on the top, it's pretty much business as usual. Actually, Wicked taking a bit too much damage there than he probably would have liked. Exhaust thrown down by both players. Wicked is going to go back. He's got no mana, so it makes sense for him to get away now whilst he can. And from what I see on his items, he's actually not been back for quite a while, so that should be good for him. Oh, he's decided to stay at the last second. Oh yeah, he's seen Linak come in there as well, so wants to make sure that this turret's safe. Yeah,
they're going for Dragon now by looks of it, so looks like traps being put out by Candy Panda there, and then going to go straight in for it. Candy Panda's already got Berserker Goose and a BF Sword now compare that to Vayne, who does need to go by. He has got double Dorans and a singular level 1 boots. As Wicked actually could do with going back. Corki is pushing his tower though, so he's kind of under pressure, but they've just taken that first dragon, so very late dragon as well, 14 minutes, 09, so 20:03 will be the next one, so keep your eye on that in the top corner. Still 2-1 in kills to SK, so despite that early tower, those early ganks going down, there's not really been anything between the two, and it's purely been down to the fact that really good ward positions given away top there. They will be diving. I don't think they're going to get in though, because he's going to walk away from that. The tower's going to hit on towards Mama there. Can Annie get up there in time? May have the flash. Has certainly not got the stun ready, so no, going to just walk away from that one. So no kills going on. Yeah, diving straight onto it. But like we said earlier, you got the durability, the survivability of Jarvan and Nunu in there, and not to mention the fact that Nunu obviously has that attack speed haste buff that will be giving Caitlyn when we start hitting the big team fight phase. And again, look, well, we've seen Alistar. Alistar's actually got a BF sword now, so trying to get that damage, which is a big important part of Vayne's build, the quick burst damage you can get without single shots. But Candy Panda was sniping up onto Alistar, just pressuring him back. Look at that, pilt over across both of them, very nicely done. And just in time for the snack for the tank come along. That's what they're trying to do. So the tank stack will be coming along. Having to use the ulti there, Kuja, to keep them at bay, just to try and keep defending this turret. This is just complete domination on bottom lane.
Yeah, and they've brought Linak in there just to get some things going on maybe, and Candy Panda does land the net straight onto him, so that'll push any threat away completely. If you look at the ward coverage, this one here that you're seeing on your screen, it's been so pivotal around this blue buff. I mean, they know that Linak is there. Obviously, Kuja does have... Oh, no, it's a vision ward, I was going to say. I don't see a pink icon above her head, but I didn't spot the vision ward that was put down there. So, you know, they're going to be able to take this blue. Caitlyn's having a bit of a sniff around and does fire the Peacemaker off there. I'm not sure that this is going to be so great. We see Nif move in, flash over the top. Or was it a net over the top, more likely, I think, from Candy Panda. And they will get away from that one pretty much unscathed.
Brilliant play there. It
was the net, right?
Yeah, it was a net. Yeah, it bounced itself back over the ledge. Brilliant play. It was kind of obvious it was going to happen. They tried. You saw who was it? Soaz tried to get the stun just before he did it, and you saw the fireball come through, netted back past it. Then obviously the quick heal from Nif. So very well played between the two. Neither of them panicking in that situation. Just knew what they were going to do. Both players knew what they were going to do. Nif immediately went down, knew the fact that Candy Panda wasn't dead, knew he was going to come across, pop the heal on, thank you very much, mid-tower gone while they tried to chase them. So they really is working very well. Warmog's already on Wicked at the top here. He's also got a brilliant fortitude potion in his bag, which he's not used yet, so getting ready to do some heavy tanking. Wicked is, which is something we don't often see. Obviously we've seen him on Irellia a lot of times, so let's have a look at what they've been and bought. I've just seen Annie has been back, so Rod of Ages and Sorcerer's Boots now completed on Annie, and I gotta imagine Candy Panda's pretty well farmed by now, because just pushing away on that bottom area. Linak and Kuja are going to try and come round, but look at that, wards everywhere, traps everywhere. They know exactly what's going on. SK have played pretty much perfectly so far in this game.
Yeah, but we've seen these kind of situations turn around, and from much bigger scorelines in terms of kills as well. So we'll see how they manage to switch to that one. Obviously, as you mentioned, Warmog's now with Wicked, which makes him even more survivable. He's getting over 1,000 HP from that Warmogs at this stage. He's obviously not had it up for all that long either. More wards going down there by Ocelot, and the wards that Millenium have are defensive wards. I mean, one up there in the bush by Baron, one even further back by that inner turret, and they're just not having that much of an opportunity to get in there. We see Ocelot pushing now up onto this top lane, so maybe this is where the pressure is aimed at, but I think it'd be a bad choice from SK. I mean, Yellow Star's there, Kuja's there, Moma's there, we're seeing Linak move around, and Brand with Soaz in the middle is the guy who's alone. It looks like SK may try to switch their target around. Both teams kind of jostling for position, and not 100% knowing where the other team is. And this Brand, yeah, so as going to have to play fairly defensive in that area, just because you know, he doesn't have that wall coverage. Top lane is now Miss, so they have to really be careful about that one. And it looks like SK are going to gather up with 5 men in this middle area. Let's see what Millenium can do to stop this one. Ulti will go off onto Yellow Star, more than half HP taken away, and they need to be very, very careful now. Soaz is not exactly built so tanky. Double Doran's rings, I mean, yeah, 200 health that he gets extra from that. He's not going to survive long once they start putting the pressure in. Obviously, less than half HP on Vayne is the word I was looking for there. So now this is a very dangerous time for Millenium now to be taking a team fight. It's 4 on 5 around that area. SK pretty much all full health as well, and Soraka's got full mana, so there's plenty of healing around there to be done. Actually, Nif could get caught out of position. Linek decides not to go in for that little attack there, and they get another ward down in quite an aggressive position, which will let them see exactly where and what Millenium are doing. Last Dragon, I'm not sure when it was up, to be honest.
It's up in a couple of seconds. 2003 is around about when they think it'll be up, so which is why they're trying to poke. They're trying to get just anyone really they could get a kill, just to force the lanes back. You can see they're going to clear the bottom lane out. Oslott's going to pick up some nice free farm down the bottom there, and let's have a look. Was Candy Panda picking up nice free farm as well. Got the Bloodthirster completed now. I believe Vayne has been back as well. Has got the Berserker Greaves completed. Looking like a lot more health. The Giant's Belt and Philosophers on Amumu. Let's have a look towards Mama. Mama's gone trying to build up towards the Trinity Force by the looks of it. And Dragon now going to be picked up. Oh no, I think pretty much taken freely while they try and harass Candy Panda in the mid there. So just nets away from the bandage toss coming in, and that will be the Dragon number 2 for SK. So 20 minutes gone, and 2-1 in kills, 1-0 in 2-0 in towers, sorry, and 2-0 in Dragon. So the gold advantage definitely in SK's favour. But like you said, we have seen these games switch pretty epically in the past, and it's really been down to the Baron. So it's going to be interesting to see. We're getting towards that time. We're at the 20-minute mark, 25. It all starts happening on the Baron, and Mama actually is trying to put a bit of a harass. They need to be careful because Candy Panda is pretty well fed, but then again, Mama has had the solo lane. Meanwhile, it's all kicking off down to the bottom there. Looks like it is Wet Dream actually flashing through. Yellow Star very low. Nobody actually dying now. Yellow Star will die this time. Jarvan uses his ulti, jumps on him, gets away very nicely, uses the ulti, gets away on absolutely no health. 149 health there. Linek needs to be in trouble now as well, and Tibbers was really used in full defense there to save Wet Dream. Wet Dream actually gets away, and nobody died in that exchange.
Yeah, one of those kind of rare team fights where you come out without a death, actually. We're going to see Blue Ruff being stolen away, and we can see that Wet Dream is already up to way above half HP, so just showing what can be done there between this SK lineup. They're going to go ahead, and obviously, I guess Wet Dream will maybe just finish off around that jungle plan. Ocelot is going home, and the top turret was being pushed. I completely missed that, the fact that Candy Panda wasn't around, if I'm honest. We are going to see Millenium now pushing onto this middle turret. They've not got the strongest 3 that they could have hoped for here. Brand and Janna and Corki. I mean, Brand did get away there, but I thought that was a little bit deadly for them. I mean, obviously Jarvan and Nunu not going to do huge amounts of damage. Annie would have been a nice addition in there, but you know, they've lost that top turret. They've got the middle one down to around about half. Meanwhile, they lost Dragon in amongst all that lot. Just a little bit before that kind of stalemate team fight. So still, it's going great for SK.
Yeah, and despite being out-farmed earlier, Vayne's starting to actually get back into it now. So 196 to 137, so still fairly far ahead from in terms of the AD carriers. But as we know, Vayne does get back into it and didn't give any kill deaths away, which is the main thing. Despite being completely out-farmed, did not die down the bottom. Neither of them did. So, you know, completely pushed and out-farmed, but managed to keep, despite losing that tower, they didn't give up the kills. So they're not giving away the big 400 gold advantages. Meanwhile, Nif is coming around. Got himself a Heart of Gold along with that Philosophers he had earlier, along with Occasion's Lucky Pick. So just remember, obviously, all the uniqueness in there, so they're continually generating that cash, putting the wards out, being a perfect support that needs to be. And Wet Dream needs to be a little bit careful. He's got 4 stacking up around him on this mid area. Meanwhile, Candy Panda's getting lots of free farm down the bottom and continuing. Got a Zeal on now. Also got the Cloak of Agility, so build towards Phantom Dancer most likely. So you know, in terms of terms of dominance, SK kind of still have it, but Millenium are nowhere near out of this one now, because they're starting to get to the point where everybody's kind of getting like those few end game items built together, so it's going to be down to a big team fight down the bottom there. Candy Panda versus Yellowstar is going to have the snipe, surely going to finish him off. Yes, he will do. Ulti stealth didn't help there at all. Managed to just about pick it up, and Linak was, well, a couple of seconds earlier would have got in there, but unfortunately, they can see Ocelot. He's got a ward there. I don't know whether you realise it. No, Linak's not going to come around the outside, so they're going to back away. So, 3-1 now in kills, and AD versus AD. That's the kind of fight that Candy Panda wants to be winning.
Yeah, and it was a bit of a risky one. It didn't look like it was going all that great for him, to be honest, until he backed away and then was like, oh yeah, there's my ulti, I can actually get this kill. Obviously, it was probably a bit more coordinated than my words make it sound, in all fairness. But here we go again, SK starting to put that pressure on this mid turret. They are all 5 still alive around there, and let's have a little quick look. So yeah, up to about 1,200 something extra health from that Warmogs now. Atma's Impaler also being picked up, so real nice tanky Jarvan there, going to be causing all kinds of problems for this Millenium team. But as you mentioned, Vayne, it kind of jinxed it a little bit as well there, Deman. Yeah, she's never lost that fight between the two ADs, and then 10 seconds later, bam, she's dead. But we are seeing a bit more aggression coming in there. Bandage toss did go out, didn't quite land, flashed out from Soraka, and we are seeing Millenium continuing to push. They did do that damage, of course, onto this mid turret a little bit earlier on. They got it below at half HP, but SK holding very, very firm in a 4 versus 5 defense, and once again we see Caitlyn up on top just chipping away on these turrets and saying, okay, let's just keep pushing. And we are going to see the push down here through into that middle area. Moma is going to start to go low. Ocelot is in all sorts of trouble. Ulti comes out from Wicked. Let's see what that's able to do for them. Linak is surely going to go down. He flashes himself away. Moma will Valkyrie away, and Kuja was the man at the back, was fairly safe. Candy Panda did come in there onto Linak up at the top, will flash over as well. Can he finish off? Kuja should be able to. Ulti is up, kill comes out, and it was nicely done there. Candy Panda now on a killing spree after that double kill, and SK do have, what have we got? Yeah, 10 seconds till the first one's up, 23 till the last there, but that should give them 2 turrets.
Yeah, brilliant play there, and like you say, 4v5 players, Candy Panda was just continuing to push top, so getting the damage, took it down to half the damage on that top turret. Is, like you mentioned, it is going to be the base turret going down, but if Millenniums do come out on top of one of those team fights, Amumu is yet to land the ulti perfectly with the rest of the team in harmony with him. But if they do manage to get it, they have got the 2 ADs, so they will take towers down very, very quickly if they can do it right. And at the moment, they've not quite managed to do it. They nearly did then. They thought, well, 4v5, let's do it. If they can't do it now, then when can they do it? And that is the question. They might be wondering to themselves, you know, we've just lost a 4v5, and out came Candy Panda and picked up the 2 easiest kills you're probably going to get in the game. Picking up, especially with Amumu. Amumu was on absolutely no health. Just went, oh, thanks. just get a free kill there. So SK now 8-3 up in kills. They have that main base tower down. You've got to assume they're just going to push the dominance and try and get that inhib. The question is whether they're going to switch across. Dragon has just spawned, so they're going to go for Dragon. You'd assume in a moment with just anyone really. I guess Candy Panda could probably go solo it. But it's whether they get caught up on the Baron fight. That's the question. Whether they're just going to push their advantage, go straight for that mid lane inhibitor that's exposed, and then go for Baron, or whether they're going to try and go for a straight 5v5 fight. I'm not too sure what's going to happen. They've warded it up. Clairvoyance did just go down on there from SK, and like you say, still very tanky build, and I don't think I've seen him Jarvan actually use that Fortitude pot yet. He's had it in on his persons for a long time, and I don't recall ever seeing him glowing with it.
Now, I guess that last team fight could have been the time to use it, but, you know, who are we to say? Maybe Wicked is the man who can judge that perfectly anyway. And here we see again, Yellowstar going down way below half HP. Candy Panda doing all kinds of damage. Obviously, Phantom Dancer along with Bloodthirster, 2 Doran's Blade, the extra speed, attack speed from those Berserker's Greaves as well. And she's looking very, very mean. What is she on kills now? 3-0? Yeah, 3-0 for Candy Panda. So very, very scary champion right now, lined up in what I guess a lot of people would argue is the best AD carrier around these days.
Yeah, definitely. And well, like you say, the Phantom Dancer is just, you know, nobody can stand in a 1v1 against him at the moment. Rabadon's death cap. Soaz really needs to try and land the stun onto Candy Panda and do as much damage as they can. Either that or a bandage toss, just anything really, just to stun him out of the fight. So we're seeing actually a Fortitude Potion used on Vayne, so he obviously felt the need to use it. Maybe back in that fight just a moment ago, also got the Agility Potion on him as well. Looking like, are they going to go for Baron? They can see that the ward is there. I don't think they're going to actually go for it. They're going to bait it towards it, yeah. So they're going to stack up in the bush. They come around. They have got that ward there. Are they going to go straight for a 5v5 fight? While Yellowstar tries his best to continue farming while while everybody postures back and forth between each other. They're going to clear that midstream, so they're going to push the mid. I don't know whether they're going to just push a big advantage there and back straight away for the Baron, or whether they're just going to go straight in for it. Candy Panda's a long way away getting red buff, so I don't think they're going to do anything without him being here now, because he's just got that fed. And Wicked's just picking up some nice free farm there. So where is he going to go? Candy Panda is coming up. Candy Panda using the Agility Potion as well now, so Vayne did have one on him, so expect to see Yellowstar using that as well. See the Clairvoyance going down, and SK pushing in. Remember, no base turret there, so I think they are going to go straight in for it. Slow already used their shield from Wicked. Not too sure why he used it. All the stun used up there as well from Soaz.
Onto Wicked doesn't make much sense.
Doesn't make any sense at all. Yeah, especially when you've got that Warmog sat there with their Atomars Impaler. That Candy Panda is just continuing to pick away. See, all the pushing and posturing they're doing, all they're doing is buying time for Candy Panda to keep shooting onto that inhibitor. Already strips it down, taking 3,000 hit points off it while he just backs and forwards, back and forwards. He's obviously the Demacia standard also going down. That's going to be a flash ulti there from Lina. Goes straight in across. Candy Panda is very low, but managed to flash away. Soraka just about keeping him alive. The ulti going across. That's going to land on towards Linak. Yellowstar's going to get taken down. Linak goes down as well. Will they manage to finish him off? I think Momo's going to surely be able to Valkyrie away. No, he's not. He's going to get picked off as well. And finally goes down there. And that's going to be the inhibitor. And straight onto the base turret. And not a single person from SK going down in that fight. Despite a really good initiation there from Linak, getting straight on flashed in, and GG's given. That is going to be all she wrote, and SK go through to the finals in Gamescom over in Cologne. So fantastic stuff, and SK really faultless throughout this game, I've got to say.
Absolutely amazing, and I don't want to, I probably should, but it's best of 3, right? Or did they change it all to best of 1 now?
I thought the top was best of 1 and the bottom was best of 3, I don't know.
Oh, no. best of 3 after the first round.
Ah, why change it midway through? I knew the Lewis bracket was. He's trying to catch me out, that's what it was.
Yeah, so, I mean, it's a great start from SK, a really promising one from them. I mean, they lost 3 kills throughout that one, 13-3. You can't really point at any stage of that game and say that Millenium looked like they were coming into it and really going to have the chance to get into a position where they could win it. I mean, all the Dragons went over to SK. That victory didn't even include a Baron pick up for them, and it's a bit of a sign, I think, of not a one-sided game, but a game of a team that's very confident when they always, are not always setting up for this Baron. Every time you see some teams that they kind of default to this whole "we need Baron" thing, when that's not always true. I mean, you can use Baron as a way to bait people in there to force that 5v5 fight, which you know that you're going to be stronger as. In the end, we didn't see Millenium come anywhere near, so SK just walked into the base. And as you said, Linak had a really good initiation with the flash to ulti in there as well. They really got Candy Panda down low, but once he then got himself back into the fight, first of all with the ulti going off, and then just the incredible attack speed and attack damage, there wasn't much that Millenium were going to do, and SK go 1-0 into the lead.
Indeed, fantastically played, and really it's down in the bottom lane. They completely out-farmed. They didn't get the kills, which would have completely snowballed it massively, but they just completely out-farmed them. And as a jungle, really, they did very well. I mean, he went the usual route towards the golems, but like you said, they took their own golems with down the bottom Nif and Candy Panda, so it completely sort of cut Amumu off. They were double counter jungling, sort of like, because obviously Amumu would normally go, oh, okay, he's gone up there, so I'll go down to take yours, sort of switch aside. But considering they took them out early, it completely took him out of the game. So I think Linak was behind all the time. So many times we saw Linak in a position waiting to get the gank, and it just didn't come for him. So just very well played by SK. I'm intrigued to see how Millenium are going to deal with this, whether they're going to go with double AD or whether they're going to go with double AP. It's just the way the meta game changes. Double AD, I'm not too sure how well it worked. Corki versus Jarvan at the top there. Wicked seems to not so much in control. They were pretty even on the CS, but and it's the same with the mid. I mean, the kill back and forth. First blood at the end of the day went to Millenium, and it was a great first blood, but he immediately got caught, which completely countered it. If they'd have kept that position, maybe Brand could have bullied Annie a little bit more. I don't know, but I'm not too sure how they're going to happen, and I'm sure the picks and bans are going to be very quick now, Joe.
Not. Nah, I don't really think so for that one, but you know, there we go. I just want to say, by the way, go for League of Legends. Obviously, we've had it for quite a while going on. It's been going on for, well, as long as I can really remember, to be honest, so I'm not going to say how long. But obviously now we have the server split. We have the, you know, obviously the EU West, EU East and Nordic regions. So we're going to have 2 Go for LOL tournaments going on. So this week, apparently, I'm being told this now by the admin, just so you guys can maybe be filled in, because we had something ridiculous like 230 teams at some point in Go for LOL, so I'm sure a lot of you watching the stream do play in that as well. So each region of servers will have €100 each for each Go for LOL tournament, plus €500 for the monthly final. And this week is the Go for LOL kickoff week, so we decided we're going to have 4 Go for LOLs, one on Sunday, one on Wednesday, one on Saturday, and one on Sunday again. Each with €100 prize money. So you know that's €400 if I could count. €400 on each side of Europe for you guys to win in Go for LOL. So make sure you check that out. I think it's on the front page at the moment as well on the League of Legends website. So we will be taking a little bit of a break here just to try and keep my and Demon's voice a little bit chilled, because I'm not sure exactly how late we're going to be going on tonight, but we will be moving in to Game 2 of SK versus Millenium, with SK having that 1-0 lead right now. And when we come back, we'll find out if SK can make it 2-0 and book their place at Gamescom, or whether Millenium can come back into this one and maybe pull off, you know, a bit of a comeback. They have to win 2 in a row to stay in the upper bracket. So we'll find out that in just a few minutes here on ESL TV. Don't go anywhere.